It's the Brown here with another Blu-ray update, and on this update I got the 50th anniversary edition of Cleopatra. It's the Digibook edition. There's the back there with Cleopatra and what's his name? Mark Antony, yeah, played by Richard Burton, and of course Elizabeth Taylor. You've got Rex Harrison, who plays as Caesar, or Julius Caesar. Everybody knows him, or probably knows Cleopatra too. But the restoration on this is absolutely amazing. But it's actually 2 discs, because it's a 4-hour, like 10-minute long movie. And then you've kind of got some pages here that go and kind of behind the scenes, more in depth. The second disc is kind of like Egyptian looking, the way they made it. And there's a picture of her. She's always like extravagant looking throughout the film, or they try to make her very like beautiful looking or sensual looking. And it's directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz, which actually it's directed by 2 directors, or yeah, 2 directors. It's filmed like over 2.5 years on and off. It's like the most expensive film at the time. It was made for like $40 million in 1963. I haven't really got into the behind the scenes or any of this extras on this yet, or read a lot of the history on it. But from what I hear, it like didn't really bring its money back in. It did win quite a few awards. Obviously, probably one of them is probably in the cinematography, and this was just amazing. You got amazing like the plate shots, like the epic grand captures the whole epic grand scale of the movie, like the ratio it's filmed in, like the tracking crane shots, the very like distant, the way they show them. There's never really too close up unless it's very emotional. It's usually the camera's kind of pulled back to kind of show a lot of the sets, the costumes. I mean, Elizabeth Taylor's costume, her hair probably took hours alone just to do that. You can't even make films like this anymore. But like everything they wear, the sets, the props, all the places they went, they filmed this, and like, I don't know how many, I know they filmed like here, Italy, 2 other different countries, I think. And what to say on this? Like another, like there's kind of like that scene there. A lot of great, and the very end is where pretty much all the action is. A lot of the sword play and like the big battles. Mainly the biggest battle is the battle out on the sea. But it goes or revolves around, or there's like the opening overture, then it goes in the first act, then you've got the entree act, which is the middle, the intermission music, and then the exit music, which is kind of how they made the epic grand scales back then, which is kind of like this one probably, and Lawrence of Arabia, and like Ben-Hur are probably like the 3 biggest epic grand scale movies made at that time. They just don't make them anymore because they're just so damn costly. If they were to make a film like this nowadays, I guess they just probably wouldn't be able to make it because it would just be so much money. Avatar is like the closest you get, and that's because it's all CGI. Otherwise, that probably wouldn't have been made. It would have been a hell of a lot more expensive. Or actually, it wouldn't have been possible. But I mean, films of this, just realistically, the battles and the costumes and all the thousands of extras and everything, just, they don't make films like this anymore. Very historical. Even the story itself, Cleopatra, starts off with Rex Harrison. He plays as Caesar in one of the battles. It's kind of like he's battling the Romans, and taking over the smaller Roman, I guess you call it regions, to unite Rome into one. And then, I'm trying to think of the person's name. Start like I forget their damn name, but he goes over there to Egypt to get them, and then the Prince of Egypt, which is actually Cleopatra's brother, he actually has the guy killed, and then like Caesar doesn't like that, and then it's a whole affair between Cleopatra left Egypt because like she wasn't getting along with her brother, and they tried to kill her, and it ends up they get her brother out of there, Caesar does, and they form this relationship between Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. And it's kind of like, she's very like a powerful woman. She just goes for her, it's kind of like goes for her dream of what she wants. Like, she goes for off of Alexander's dream, Alexander the Great, to kind of rule, unite the entire world as one, to go through. It doesn't matter how many wars it takes, as long as in the end result of the dream. But she kind of goes off of that as her own dreams and her own ambitions, and it kind of goes into the love affair between her and Caesar. And then, of course, you know, the story of Caesar, I mean, the rise of her, and then they kill off, of course, Caesar. Everyone probably knows that from if you've taken history class. And then it goes into the second, or they have a son, actually, Caesarion, they name him. Then it goes into the second, but before I go into the second act, which is basically her and Richard Burton's character, Mark Antony, just the most epic, the probably definitive epic grand scale is the scene where she actually enters into Rome. It's just, I mean, just beautifully amazing. It probably runs like 10 minutes, like the chariot scene in Ben-Hur. Just that grand scale of it. You've got all the dancers and the archers, and you've got all the slaves, or the slaves pulling her with all these ropes, pulling this giant like black sphinx that her and her son is on, and she's like way up on top, kind of higher than everybody else on her own little like pedestal. And wearing all this gold, and her son, Caesarion, is sitting next to her. Just everything, and that, like the crowd, the audience, like the graffiti, and like they shoot the arrows and the ribbons come down, like all this smoke, and all these kind of like acrobatic tricks. I mean, the choreography. That scene there is like the big scene of the movie. But in the second act, after Caesar dies, the Mark Antony, he kind of always had a thing for her. And she kind of she's still like, because of Caesar, he's kind of like in the shadow of Caesar, but she uses Mark Antony to still kind of go for her dream, her ambition of the taking over Rome pretty much, and then trying to go beyond that. And then it just ends up, of course, it's like kind of doomed between them and what happens. And then forget the one guy's name. There's what is his name? He calls himself Caesar because he likes to think that he is like the new Caesar, like he's like the emperor and like the god of all Rome, and everybody's like beneath him or worships him. I forget his name. But they end up like I think that's actually there. Yeah, that's actually Mark Antony's battleship, and Cleopatra thinks that he's dead, and she escapes or takes off with her boat. And then he survives, and him and the small boat and a few of his survivors, they ride off. They're like the last ones, and they jump on board her ship, or her personal boat. And just him and the last, there's like two like legions left, and they're supposed to just go all out on this final, because the Caesar guy is coming, the new Caesar is coming to claim the rest of Egypt as his own, and make it Roman, taking over Cleopatra and Mark Antony. He wants him alive. But then Antony goes out, and he rides out by himself because everybody else leaves. And it's just him, and he's like clashing them with the swords, and he's all like, you know, can anybody give me an honorable death? And then he runs back off to where she's hiding in her tomb. And it kind of, almost kind of sense like a Romeo and Juliet-ish, because he like kills himself, and then she kills herself because they don't want to be taken alive by the new Caesar guy. But all in all, just an amazing historical, epic, grand scale film. Should definitely check this one out. It's probably, I haven't really seen many Elizabeth Taylor films. I've seen Giant and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, but this is easily like Taylor at her best. She just used like the woman, the Cleopatra, the woman she plays, just powerful. I mean, she uses not only her like mind, but her body, and I mean just all of her like intellectual, like she's very well educated. She uses everything within her grasp and her power to sway like the Caesar and Mark Antony to do what she wants, to do their bidding, or her bidding for her. But all around great performances. Yeah, this one's, it's out. There's a regular slipcase edition, but this was a limited edition. I had to get this. But yeah, definitely check this one out. Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth. Elizabeth Taylor, Rex Harrison, and what's his name? Richard Burton. Yeah. And yeah, that's my review for Cleopatra, the 50th anniversary edition on Blu-ray. And thanks for watching.